Edwin, the magical midget. He's the friendliest midget you've ever seen. He's wearing a tomahawk, but don't you worry, cause he's a magical midget. Giant midget that's friendly.
Hello everybody, hope y'all enjoyed that intro. I had a friend make the little music part of it for me, and I did the animations right quick within Second Life. Today we're going to cover a little bit information about the mode Pheonix. Down here in the bottom right corner where it says select mode, instead of having Firestorm, we're going to go to Pheonix. And today I'm actually going to log in under my main account. So let's go ahead and sign in. Takes a second to kind of load in here. Oh, there it goes. Okay, so here we are. There we go. We are here in my store location. I write scripts and stuff within the game, and I sell them here in my store. We'll have a nice look around right quick. Can't see. There it goes. Okay. This is my bit here. I only actually have one item for sale at this moment. I normally do custom work, so don't really have much for sale here. A couple friends are going to put some stores here. I have one store available here for rent. I got a friend who is selling jewelry here, and I got another one for rent here, and I got a friend gonna put one here. The downstairs, there's not very much to it. It's kind of just a big open space with a nice little fishing area here. We'll get into this fishing much later. It's a good way to make a little bit of money here in the game. Let's go ahead and go back up to the top here. Every once in a while, when teleporting, you get this issue where some things won't load. As you can see, it looks like I'm floating in midair. To fix this issue, just right click and they show up. And it could be anything that'll do it. Like how this thing here is supposed to have a whole entire piece to it that's not there. Right click on it, it's there. Clocks on the wall over there. They're there. My online status board's there. Anywho, so as you can see, this viewer layout is a good bit different than the one from the last episode or last video. The main difference is the layout here at the bottom. Instead of having little icons, it actually tells you, and it tells you what button's what. So like inventory brings up the inventory screen. Map brings up the map screen. Minimap brings up minimap. Search will bring up the search. Build will allow you to build within the game. We're not ready to get into this yet. We might touch a little bit of it at the end of this episode, depending on how much time we have. But at this moment, we're not ready for this. So let's go ahead and remove you, close you, and of course snapshot. It is for snapshots. People brings up the same people thing. Flying will allow you to fly. Yes, you can fly in this game. Conversations, bring up the conversation window. These are the IMs. These are actually group IMs. You can IM people from your list. As you can see, I have a bunch of people on my list. If I was to double click them, it would IM them. Same with the group. If you're to see here, widgets, if I was to double click it, it brings up the IM. Okay. And this little button here at the very bottom left is the local chat bar. You can just hit enter to bring that up. You don't actually have to click it. Yawn, sorry. All the way to the right here is the AO, which we covered in the quick preferences. In the last episode, we covered those. There's a lot of information about this AO that we'd have to get into in order. It'd probably end up being an episode in it of itself. Next, we have the talk feature here, which of course, just like before, it's got the little lock button. This one brings up the nearby chat with the voice morphing. This little slider volume here allows you to, like, if there was somebody else here with me, I could click the name and turn their voice up so you could hear them better. Here, this little button brings up the volume controls. Yeah. It's kind of self-explanatory. You got the play pause for media, which is videos and stuff like that playing in the game. We also have the music here. Playing now, we'll play music. I don't know if I have anything set for. Oh no, yep. Gonna play music. One thing that I do want to cover a little bit more in this video is the about land. The name here is not the full region name. Like, let's say I bring up the mini map, how it's got this square, that's a full region. The full region name is Pheonix, F-I-N-I. Now they have it parceled up, and you can rent out each little parcel, which is I've rented a little parcel on this full region, or full sim, or simulator, which is the land, a 256 by 256, I believe it is, meters. And my parcel is called Widgets. The parcel ID, not very much is done with that. The description is basically just a description of the parcel. It does not change the description for the full region. You would have to have a state manager ability for that and whatnot. This land is group-owned land by Widgets, which I am one of the owners of. If it was player-owned, it would have the player's profile name here instead of group-owned and then the group here. You can set the land for sale here. If you hit that, it brings up a whole thing. Set the price. Anyone, specific person. No, keep ownership of object. Yes, object of the land. Blah 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 blah. And then hit set land for sale. Okay. I do believe this is when I claimed the land. Like when I bought it. It was on this date here. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. Okay. The area is a 16th of a sim, which is only 80 square meters. Normally my traffic's a little bit higher than this. It's usually above 1,000. But this is, I'm not entirely sure on the math behind the traffic calculations, but it's the amount of people by hour or something like that that come into your parcel. So that's how that is. Abandoned land. I do not recommend ever hitting this, because abandoning the land does not send it back to the person you rented it from. It will send the parcel back to Linden Labs. So Linden Labs becomes the owner, not the people you rented it from. If you no longer want to rent your land, don't pay rent. They'll claim the land back on their own. Script info will tell you the script information on the region, or I do believe it's for the partial, but yeah, for the partial. As you can see, I have a lot running right now, but it still runs pretty good. Next up is the covenant. This is basically your rules set by the estate owners of for the region. Like, you have to follow these rules, otherwise they can take your parcel back and not refund your money. Like, that's up to them if they refund the money. If you break the covenant, they don't have to give you the money back. I actually follow this thing quite well. I recommend, before buying any land from anybody, I rent through Victoria Chung. Before buying any land from anybody, no matter who it is, read the covenant. You know, if it's got, like, how this one says, Victoria Chung Estate, Deluxe Island. If it's got, like, if you're going to rent from one person, and in the covenant it states that the land is owned by a different company or a different person, like not the owner here, because this might be different no matter, like, depending on who you rent from. But like, where here in the government, if it says like you're renting from A&A Estates, and you go into the covenant and it says Victoria Chung Estates, go to Victoria Chung. Go to her and rent. Don't rent from A&A. Rent from Victoria Chung. You'll get a better price and whatnot. Like, always look around and find the price you want. Of course, here it's got better detail, like the region name is Pheonix, type grandfathered, full region, which means it's a older region. It's a full sim. We'll cover the difference between full, homestead, open space, and stuff like that later in another video. The maturity rating, of course, is moderate. Resell, purchase land and region, da 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 da, subdivide, da 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 da. These are kinda, resell is kind of self-explanatory. Subdivide is where they do the partial, which is, you know, just a piece of the actual region. That's what subdivide is. Objects. This is the amount of primitives or objects and allowed. Like, you have your capacity. My capacity limit is 933. That's for a 16th, which is normal. I have used 387 out of 933, which leaves me 564 or 546 available. Here, land capacity 933, land impact 387. By owner 1, set to group 339, owned by others 47. You know, you can hit show to show them, you can hit return to return them. If you go down here at the bottom where it says auto return other residents objects, in minutes, 0 for off. You know, you can auto return people. I'm not entirely sure on whether, like, let's say the land is group owned land like my land is, and because I'm set in the owner's part of the group, if my stuff wouldn't get removed. So I have it set to 0 just in case. I will be doing some testing to find out for sure later down the road. Up next, if you hit refresh right here, it'll refresh this whole listing here. You can click on the person's name, like, to specify the exact person you want to remove instead of returning all these. Here you can go in and return a specific person's item. Just hit return object. I'm not going to do it because these people here, like, of course, me, my friend that sells jewelry, my lovely angel, and of course Widget, which is the owner of the land. Up next is the options. Let me bring this down here a little bit. What this is you allow residents to do specific things on your land, such as edit the terrain. As it says, you use with caution. You can allow them to fly. You can turn that off, you know, if you don't want them flying on your land. On the right here, build, I have it set to group only, so only people in the Spidget Widget group can build on this land. Object entry is where you take it from your inventory and drop it out, or res an object through like a HUD or another object out in the world. That's basically what object entry is. Run scripts is I'm not entirely sure how this works. I can't give entire information about this, so I'm not sure, but I have it set to group only just in case. Safe, no damage. Linden Labs has a damage meter built into the game, and you can turn it on, turn it off. Like, turn it on, you know, there's your health right here at the top. Turn it off, and it's gone. There's weapons that'll cause Linden Labs damage and whatnot. Up next, we have no push. Uh, there's objects such as this trampoline over here. Let me go ahead and fly over here right quick. That are pusher objects that will push your avatar. Such as this, when I walked on it, it pushed my avatar up in the air to simulate a jump, such as this. Okay. So I can turn no push off, and people wouldn't be able to use pusher objects on my partial. Of course, moderate content, that just states that there is moderate content on the partial. I don't have any, so I don't have it checked. Show parcel, or so place insert 30 lindens per week under, a category. Basically what that is here in the search, under the places tab, I can search widgets, and I can find it right there. Thank you. Okay. Up next is avatars on other parcels can see and chat with avatars. I have this turned off because I have a house on the ground. Right now we're 3,900 meters up in the air. So I have my private house on the ground below the store. So I have see and chat with others, or with avatars off. You can set the landing point for where people teleport into it. You can set the landing point for them to teleport to it. Is I have mine set here. The teleport routing. When you first start, or you first install Firestorm or the normal SL viewer, I do believe most viewers do it. You have the ability to double click teleport. I have mine turned off for the Tomahawk use. I have it turned off, and but you're able to double click teleport. So to stop people from double clicking teleporting, here at teleport routing, you can block teleporting. You can have them teleport to the landing point, or they can teleport wherever they double click at. So that's how that works. Of course, you can set up your own picture. I need to stick my logo into this. Still ain't done that. Up next is the media, which is the videos. Kind of self-explanatory there. Web content, audio, image, movie, blah blah blah. That's just the type. The home page, you set, just copy paste your thing in there. Description, size, auto scaling, the texture you want the video to replace will go here. Okay, so next is sound, which is the music option here. I'm gonna do that. I didn't realize I had that off. Enable voice, yes. Restrict voice is partial, yes. But you would put your stream URL here. Like, let's say you're a DJ and you want to DJ, you'd put your stream URL in this location. Up next is the access tab. Allow public access, which will allow anybody to visit you. Phone went off. Allow access only to residents who have payment information, which is like they have the ability to buy lindens, are the age of 18 or older. I kind of spoke on that before. If you hit allow group access to Spidget widgets, allow group access, only people within the Spidget widgets group will be able to come into the store. I have that turned off because I want to allow everybody to come in. You can sell passes to people. Like if I was to uncheck this, the allow group access automatically gets checked, and I can sell passes to people, to anyone or to the group. Price is the amount of lindens that they have to pay to join. I do believe that's at 10, and the hours of access, which is right now at 1. But of course, I don't want that, so there we go. Allowed residents is no matter what, these are always allowed, unless you have self passes set. Banned residents, of course, is people that are banned from your parcel or land. That's pretty much it though for this episode. Hope y'all enjoyed, and hope y'all stick around for the next one when we actually begin exploring and probably doing a little bit of a building. Hope y'all have a great evening. Bye bye.